Hello, welcome back to Gas Beautyo, where we're continuing with our pitchside scene build, whatever you want to call it. If you remember last time, which was only yesterday, we put on this grass here, and I managed to remove the excess from that. Did have a brilliant suggestion from Gary, who's commented before. So what he said was you can get a vacuum cleaner. In this house we got a Henry, and then you can put a bit of netting or mesh over the end of it. He did suggest your missus's stockings, or my missus's stockings, and then you can basically hoover off any of the excess and reuse it again. I'll be honest with you, I didn't do that. I just blew on it and it all blew off. But here's what we're left with. So yeah, it looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm quite impressed. In fact, I'm so impressed with this grass stuff. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, so you can go out and buy it yourself. So this is called Javis Static Grass. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There it is, by a company. I think the company's called Javis Countryside Scenics. Yeah, it is. And they've even got a website there, so www.javis.co.uk. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you are planning on making any sort of scenery like this, go and visit their website. That's how impressed with this grass I am. But we're done with the grass now, that's all, and that is dried off. What we're going to do now is put some of the rocks on, the rocks in the riverbed. Now, if you remember, I had a big half pint of glue. I covered this up yesterday, so it is still very much usable. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to put a bit of PVA water mix, so it's a 50-50 mix, in a few areas round and about. Whoop, nearly spilled it then. Round and about in the riverbed area. We're going to splat all that on. The reason we're doing that is because we're going to pour the rocks in. I'm not going to put it everywhere, so I'm just going to put it in bits of a few places. Right, I'll be going off camera here, I think. So bear with me. I'm still here, don't worry, don't panic. So we'll splat some of that down there. Quite a lot down the bottom bit, because it's a bit more down the slope. And also we want to put some up here. Do we want rocks other places? I don't know. Let's put I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's chuck some of the rocks in. So the rocks are, if you remember from one of the previous videos, a Hornby Scale Scenics jobby. You see that? So that's what they are. This is just called ballast limestone. This would probably also fit through the sieve as well, but I'm just going to drop it on like that. So that's going on the glue. And what I'll do when this dries again, I'll do a similar sort of thing. I'll show you this in a minute. I'll move the camera and show you what it looks like. So I'll wait for it to dry till tomorrow, and then I will sort of give it a good old blast. Or of course you could vacuum it off. Put some down in. But it just adds a bit of texture into the river section, so it looks like a sort of riverbed. Now I've got a bit of a plan with this, in that I've glued that bit down, but when it comes to putting the actual water in, and I've got something special planned for the water, I might put some of this in loose and like just chuck it in. The idea being that as I pour in the would-be water, it will naturally take some of the loose rocks with it, and hopefully it will look like, almost look like a natural washed away riverbed. I'm quite looking forward to doing that bit, to be honest. So there we go, we chuck some of them rocks in there. You don't need too many, I suppose. What I'll do, I'm going to move the camera now and show you what that looks like. So as you can see, let me focus on that. There you go. So you can see them in there. Now they do look a bit piled up, but that's what the grass looked like. And then basically you let it dry, and then blow it off, and some of it stays and some of it goes. So we've got that all the way up there. Oop. That's going to the top. I might put a few more on the top end. So that's what we're going to do now. Now the next thing after that, before we put the water in, is, let me focus on it for you. There we go, that's better. Is trees. Now, if you remember, I brought a big bag of these trees. I'm going to show you these now because I'm going to tell you, before the next video, I'm going to put some of these in so you know what I'm doing. Basically, I'm going to get the old drill in various holes and PVA glue a few of these in. If I say a few, I like my trees, so I might put all of them. There's 30 of them in there. This was a little bag from some eBay seller in China. Very inexpensive to buy. So we're going to have a ton of trees all over the place, all the way down here. And then after that, then I think what we do then, I've got some undergrowth, some bushes to put in, so we'll put them next, and then the last thing we'll do is the water. So that's where we're at with that at the minute. Now what I'm going to do now is finish off them rocks, and I might even start drilling some holes. You know what, while you're on here, if you bear with me, I just got to wander over here. Should we do one of the trees now? So I know this is not perfect viewing entertainment while I mess around in the background. I've got the drill to hand here. And what I've got here, let's see, what's the thickness of them trees? I'm going to need a thicker drill bit than that. We'll go and find a slightly thicker drill bit if I've got one. Excuse the peculiar noises in the background. That will do. Now this is actually a metal drill bit, but it's small enough that it just fit the size of the trees. I wouldn't normally suggest you use metal drill bits for drilling into anything but metal, but I want to give this a go. So, for instance, what I'm going to do here, let's say I'm going to put a tree there. Put that onto drill. Drill a little hole, and then what I'm going to do is get a bit of PVA glue. Hey! So that's what I'm going to do before the next video. I'm going to get a load of them in and basically drill these holes. Once I blow all the stones out of here as well, the loose ones, I'll be able to get rid of all this dust. Let's just see what it looks like with a few trees in. So these, like I said, these will be glued in. So they're going to be dotted about. Oh, it's starting to look like something now. It's starting to look like something. Let's move that over there. Focus on that. Excuse the wobble. So that's where we're heading with that. So I'm going to put a few of them in before the next time, next video we have, and then hopefully it will look like a bit of a forest scene. So anyway, until next time, exciting. Let's get on with this now. Up the gas. Oh, by the way, talking about the gas, in my last video, you'll know that we were about to take on Sunderland. We didn't have a great deal of hope of winning that, but if there's any sort of mercies there, at least we only lost 1-0. Let me put another tree and calm it down. So, I haven't even looked at the table yet, but we are not in a good way. Until next time, up the gas. I'm probably going to be down the gas, to be honest, let's be honest. Laters.